Are you learning English? Great! Let's learn English with a very interesting story. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Let's get started.
Snickers is one of the most famous candy bars in the world. People in many different countries enjoy eating this chocolate bar. You can find Snickers bars easily in shops almost everywhere, from big supermarkets to small corner stores. It is a truly global product. It is not just the taste that makes Snickers so popular with so many people. The company that makes Snickers, Mars Incorporated, is also very good at marketing and advertising its product. Many people recognize the Snickers adverts from television or online. Perhaps the most famous advertising idea is the simple sentence, "You're not you when you're hungry." These adverts often show a person who is acting strangely because they are very hungry. Maybe they become angry or very tired or just completely different from their normal self. Then someone gives them a Snickers bar. After they eat it, they quickly feel better and start acting normally again. These adverts are usually quite funny, and people find them easy to remember. This clever campaign helped make the candy bar even more well-known all around the world. But what exactly is inside a Snickers bar that people enjoy so much? What makes it taste the way it does? The classic bar is made from 4 main ingredients. On the outside, there is a thick layer of smooth milk chocolate. This chocolate covers everything else. Inside the chocolate coating, you find 3 different layers packed together. There is a soft, chewy part called nougat. This nougat is sweet and has a light, almost fluffy texture. On top of the nougat sits a layer of sticky, golden brown caramel. Caramel adds extra sweetness and gives the bar a gooey feel when you eat it. Mixed into the caramel layer are many roasted peanuts. These peanuts add a slightly salty taste and a very satisfying crunch when you bite into the bar. Together, these 4 parts, milk chocolate, nougat, caramel, and peanuts, create the special Snickers taste and texture that many find delicious. Each of these key ingredients has its own long and interesting history. Chocolate, for example, was first used as a drink many thousands of years ago in the Americas. Nougat comes from recipes developed in a different part of the world much later. Caramel is made using a special cooking process with sugar. Peanuts also traveled a long way across the globe before they became such a popular snack food. Learning about these separate parts helps us understand the complete Snickers bar better. In the next chapters, we will explore the fascinating past of the Snickers bar in more detail. We will look at the history of its main ingredients and discover how they were first brought together to make this world-famous candy treat. 2. Sweet chocolate history. Chocolate started long ago as a special drink for people like the Mayans and Aztecs. They used cocoa beans, cooked them, and collected the cocoa butter. They added vanilla for better flavor. This drink was important in their culture, possibly used 6,000 years ago. When Spanish explorers came to the Americas, they found cocoa and vanilla. They brought them back to Europe. Europeans didn't use cocoa for ceremonies. They just enjoyed drinking it and started trying new ways to prepare it. Later, Europeans tried making solid chocolate. This was very hard work. Workers spent hours roasting, shelling, and grinding cocoa beans by hand. Sometimes they used machines like treadmills to grind bigger amounts. Making solid chocolate took a lot of effort in those days. A big change came in 1875. A Swiss chocolate maker, Daniel Peter, worked with the Nestle company. He added milk powder to dark chocolate. Using liquid milk was a problem because water spoiled the chocolate. Milk powder didn't have water, so it worked perfectly. This made chocolate smoother and sweeter. Many companies started making milk chocolate after this. Another important step happened in 1879 in Switzerland. Rodolph Lindt learned that too much water caused problems in his chocolate. He created a new method called conching. A machine mixed the warm chocolate slowly for many hours, even days. This removed extra water and made the chocolate very smooth and less bitter. It became easy to pour into molds. This was the beginning of modern chocolate, but it was still expensive. Milton Hershey changed things again. He saw chocolate machines in 1893 and wanted to make chocolate instead of caramel. His big idea was to make milk chocolate affordable for everyone. He experimented for years to find a good way to use fresh milk. He finally succeeded. In 1900, he started selling the first Hershey's milk chocolate bars. They cost only 5 cents each, making milk chocolate a treat many people could enjoy. 3. Other tasty parts. Nougat is another important part of a Snickers bar. This sweet treat has a long history. Many people think it started in the Middle East. A recipe for something like nougat was found in a book from Baghdad from the 10th century. These early types were called nave. Later, nougat traveled to Spain and Italy in the 15th century. Then it reached France in the 17th century. Finally, it came to America, where people started making a version with corn syrup. A traditional nougat is different from the nougat in many candy bars. The traditional kind uses honey, sugar, and egg whites. It is often fluffy and soft, a bit like fudge, and might have nuts or fruit inside. Candy bar nougat, like the one in Snickers, is usually made with corn syrup and special proteins. It has a chewy texture. Caramel adds a smooth, sweet layer. It comes from a simple process called caramelization. This way of cooking sugar started in France in the 17th century. To make caramel, you just cook sugar slowly until it turns brown. You can make it even sweeter and creamier by adding milk, cream, or butter. The word caramel might come from an old Latin word that means sugar cane. Today, caramel is a popular topping for many desserts and sweets. Peanuts give Snickers its crunchy texture. Peanuts are not actually nuts, they grow underground. They first came from South America, probably Peru or Brazil. People in South America used peanuts a very long time ago. There is proof that they made a kind of peanut butter 3,500 years ago. Around 1500 BC, the Incas in Peru used peanuts in important ceremonies. They sometimes put peanuts in tombs with mummies. In Brazil, people mixed peanuts with maize to make a drink. Spanish explorers found peanuts in South America and took them back to Europe. From Europe, peanuts traveled to Asia and Africa. Peanuts grew well in Africa. They came to North America in the early 1700s. At first, people in North America mainly grew peanuts in Virginia. They used them for oil or as a substitute for cocoa. Growing peanuts was difficult work. For a long time, many people thought peanuts were only food for animals or poor people. This changed in the early 1800s when peanuts became a proper crop. After the American Civil War, peanuts became much more popular. Soldiers ate them because they had a lot of protein. Later, in the late 1800s, circuses helped make peanuts famous. P.T. Barnum's circus sold roasted peanuts to large crowds. Soon, people sold roasted peanuts on street corners and at baseball games. Around 1900, new machines made it easier to harvest peanuts. This helped peanuts become the popular food we know today. 4. Making the Snickers bar. The story of the Snickers bar starts with a man named Frank Mars. He was the owner of a candy company called Mars Incorporated. Before Snickers, Frank Mars already had a big success with another candy bar, the Milky Way. This popular bar helped his company grow, but Frank was always looking for the next great idea. He wanted to create another special candy that people would love, and that would make his company stand out even more. Frank Mars heard about a type of sweet treat made with nougat, peanuts, and caramel. He thought this combination sounded tasty, but he felt it was missing something important. He believed he could make it better and turn it into a candy bar that everyone would want to buy. What was the missing part? Frank decided it was milk chocolate. As we know from earlier, milk chocolate was becoming very popular, thanks to people like Milton Hershey who made it affordable. Frank knew that covering the nougat, peanuts, and caramel with smooth milk chocolate would make the perfect candy bar. This combination of chewy, crunchy, and creamy textures covered in chocolate seemed like a winning idea. So the Mars Company got to work creating this new candy. In the year 1930, the very first Snickers bar was introduced. It was made in a factory in Chicago. When it first went on sale, you could buy a Snickers bar for just 5 cents. This price made it a treat that many people could afford, even if they did not have a lot of money. However, launching the Snickers bar in 1930 was not easy. This was the beginning of the Great Depression, a very difficult time for America and the world. Many people lost their jobs and had very little money. Buying candy was a luxury, something special that not everyone could buy regularly. Also, ingredients like sugar were sometimes hard to get. This difficult time meant that candy companies, including Mars, faced challenges. They needed to be clever to sell their products when money was tight. Despite these problems, the Snickers bar began its journey. Early Snickers bars were made very carefully. First, workers poured the soft, chewy nougat onto large flat trays. Next, they spread a layer of sticky caramel over the nougat. Then, they added plenty of crunchy roasted peanuts on top of the caramel. After these layers were ready, workers cut the large sheets into smaller, bar-sized pieces by hand. The final step was to dip each individual bar into melted milk chocolate, covering it completely. This process created the Snickers bar we recognize, ready to be wrapped and sold. 5. The name and fun size. How did the Snickers bar get its name? The story is quite interesting. Frank Mars, the creator of the candy bar, and his wife Ethel owned a large farm in Tennessee called Milky Way Farm. They raised horses there. Ethel had a favorite horse named Snickers. Sadly, this horse died just 2 months before the new candy bar came out. Frank and Ethel decided to name their new chocolate bar Snickers to remember their special horse. It was a personal name for a new product. However, the name Snickers caused a small problem in the United Kingdom. In British English, the word Snickers sounds very similar to knickers, which means women's underwear. To avoid confusion, the company decided to use a different name in the UK. From 1967, the bar was sold there as the Marathon Bar. This name was used for almost 30 years. The name Marathon was chosen partly because the bar gives energy, linking it to sports. Later, in 1990, the company decided to use the same name everywhere. So the Marathon bar became Snickers in the UK too, matching the name used in America and other places. Around the time Snickers was first made, times were hard because of the Great Depression. Many people did not have much money for treats like candy. Other candy companies started making smaller versions of their popular bars. These were often called junior bars because they were smaller and cost less money. This made candy more affordable for people. Mars also saw this was a popular idea. Following this trend, Mars introduced its own smaller bars. First, they sold junior-size bars starting in 1961. Then, in 1968, Mars created a new small size called Fun Size. The Fun Size Snickers was a little bigger than the junior size. Mars registered Fun Size as a trademark, hoping only they could use this name for their small candies. This happened at a time when people in America were starting to think more about eating healthy foods. A smaller candy bar like the Fun Size seemed like a treat people could enjoy without feeling too bad. But Mars had problems keeping the name Fun Size just for themselves. Other companies also started using the term Fun Size for their small candies. Mars took one company, Curtis, to court. They argued that Curtis should not use their trademarked name. However, defending the trademark was difficult. The court asked how a common word like fun could be trademarked. Also, another company had already trademarked the word fun many years earlier, back in 1926. The court decided that Mars could not stop others from using the words fun and size together. Mars did not give up easily. They bought the old trademark for the word fun and tried to sue again. But in the end, they were not successful in stopping other companies. Their own trademark for fun eventually expired in 1998. Even though they lost the legal fight, many people still think of Mars when they hear Fun Size. 6. Snickers and sports. Snickers bars contain many calories from ingredients like nougat, caramel, peanuts, and chocolate. Because of this high energy content, the Mars company started to link the candy bar with sports and active people. Athletes often need quick sources of energy, especially during training or competition. Mars saw this as an opportunity to market Snickers as a snack that could provide that fuel. This idea led to Snickers becoming involved in sponsoring major sporting events. A very important example of this was in 1984. Snickers became the official snack sponsor for the Summer Olympic Games held in Los Angeles. This was a huge international event. To get this title, Mars paid $5 million. They also agreed to supply free Snickers bars to all the athletes participating in the games. It was a major marketing strategy designed to strongly connect the Snickers brand with athletic performance and energy. However, this sponsorship caused a big disagreement. Many health experts were unhappy. More than 200 nutritionists publicly protested against the deal. They felt that promoting Snickers as an official Olympic snack was wrong and could mislead people. Their main worry was that the public, especially children, might start to think Snickers was a healthy food choice. They feared children could believe that eating Snickers would make them great athletes. These nutritionists pointed out that the bar was high in sugar and fat and did not offer balanced nutrition. They wanted to encourage healthier eating habits and discourage sugary snacks between meals. Mars strongly defended its position and the sponsorship. The company presented arguments from its own nutritionist, Dr. Daniel Rosenfield. He disagreed with the critics. Dr. Rosenfield stated that Snickers did have nutritional value, particularly for athletes. He explained that athletes have much higher energy needs than average people because they burn so many calories. For them, a high-calorie snack like Snickers could be a helpful way to quickly replace energy. Mars presented Snickers as a satisfying snack that could provide fuel for demanding physical activities. The connection between Snickers and the sports world continued long after the 1984 Olympics. Over the years, the brand has sponsored many other sports and events. For instance, Snickers has supported NASCAR, sponsoring racing cars and drivers in this popular American motorsport. The brand has also been involved with international football as a sponsor of the FIFA World Cup. Furthermore, Snickers is well known for its advertising during the Super Bowl, the most watched American football game each year. These ongoing sponsorships have helped maintain the image of Snickers as a candy bar linked to energy, activity, and sports. 7. Famous ads and problems. Snickers has used advertising for many years, but not all ads were popular. Some caused problems. For example, during the Super Bowl football game in 2007, Snickers showed an advertisement. In the ad, two men who were mechanics accidentally kissed while eating the same Snickers bar. After kissing, they felt uncomfortable and tried to do manly things quickly. Many people, including groups supporting gay rights, complained about this advertisement. They said it was unfair to gay people and showed homophobia. The company, Mars, later removed the ad because of these complaints. Another set of advertisements featured the famous actor Mr. T. These ads often ended with Mr. T shouting, "Snickers, get some nuts." This slogan itself caused some discussion. In 2008, a different Mr. T ad showed him getting angry at a man who was speed walking. Mr. T thought the man did not look manly enough and told him to run like a real man. Again, people complained that this ad was homophobic. Mars said the advertisement was meant to be funny. However, because people were upset, they stopped showing this ad too. In 2010, Snickers started a new advertising campaign that became very famous and successful. The main idea was, "You're not you when you're hungry." The ads showed people acting strangely or turning into different people because they were hungry. When they ate a Snickers bar, they changed back to their normal selves. This campaign used many famous celebrities. The first ad showed the actress Betty White playing American football badly because she was hungry. After eating a Snickers, she returned to normal. Other famous people appeared in later ads, like the singers Aretha Franklin and Liza Minnelli, and comedians like Joe Pesci and Don Rickles. In 2015, an ad showed actor Danny Trejo acting like a character from a television show called The Brady Bunch. Another ad featured actor Willem Dafoe dressed as Marilyn Monroe. These "You're not you when you're hungry" ads were shown in many countries. Sometimes they used local celebrities. The main idea stayed the same: hunger changes you and Snickers fixes it. However, Snickers faced problems again more recently. In 2021, an ad in Spain showed a man who seemed gay acting in a way some people thought was stereotypical. After eating a Snickers ice cream bar, he turned into a man with a beard and a deep voice. Many people in Spain and online said this advertisement was homophobic. They felt it made fun of gay men. Following the complaints, Snickers quickly removed the advertisement and apologized. They said they did not mean to cause any offense. 8. More Snickers today. The original Snickers bar is very famous, but today there are many other types you can buy. The Snickers brand now includes different kinds of bars. You can find Snickers extra energy and bars with extra caramel. There are even special flavors like espresso, fiery hot, or sweet and salty. Over the years, the size of the standard Snickers bar has changed. It has become smaller. Grams. People notice this change in size. Some people enjoy Snickers in unusual ways. In Scotland, starting around 1995, some fish and chips shops started selling deep-fried Snickers bars. This trend later appeared at state fairs in America in the early 2000s. Another unusual item was the Snickers pie. A chef created this dessert, which contained 5 Snickers bars. Health experts said it was very unhealthy because one piece had over 1,000 calories. That is more than half the calories an average adult needs in a whole day. In 2005, there was a serious problem in Australia. Mars received letters from someone threatening to poison candy bars. The letters said 7 poison bars were put on shop shelves in New South Wales. One letter even included a Snickers bar that had rat poison in it. Because of this danger, Mars acted quickly. They removed tens of thousands of Snickers bars from stores across the area. Luckily, it seems no one was harmed by a poisoned bar. More recently, Snickers achieved something amazing. In 2020, the company set a Guinness World Record for the largest chocolate nut bar ever made. Snickers bars put together. It contained over 1,200 pounds of caramel, peanuts, and nougat, and 3,500 pounds of chocolate. Making the giant bar took 1 week. It was created to celebrate the 90th birthday of Snickers and the 10th anniversary of the famous "You're not you when you're hungry" adverts. Guinness World Records requires large food items to be eaten, so the huge bar was cut into pieces and given to people. Today, Snickers is still one of the most popular candy bars in the world. Mars makes about 15 million Snickers bars every single day. The company sells over $380 million worth of
Hey there! Just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like, write your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second, and it really, really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world. Thank you.